so. Most performance cars, they offer some, combination of straight line performance and handling. So which one is better? Is there one that's better? Which one is more fun in the real world? Now, this WRX handles quite well for what it is. I mean, this thing very confidently can take corners. Brakes are really good. People complain about the brakes on these cars like stock, but once you get used to them, they're really good. Now, they're not Brembo, so they're not going to dissipate heat, as well as true performance brakes, but they're solid. Now, look, this car handles great. I mean, I'm having fun right now, but I'm only going out, maybe like going like 70%, 60-70% of what I would do if like this was a track. Like, I gotta be careful, man. Like, this is a lease, all right? I'm not trying to put this thing in the wall. Like, I could go so much faster through here, right? But I'm just chilling. I'm just having fun. Still fun, but I do know in the back of my head, I'm like, I wish I could just boogie, but I can't. It's the real world. There could be all number of obstructions that could pop up. I have to be safe. I can only do so much, right? And the thing is that when you push a car all out on turns like this, if you're going like all out, you're trying to push the car to the limit, okay? The best drivers in the world. Look how amazing this road is, by the way. I mean, this is fun. Don't get me wrong, all right? Remember how awesome this road was as we talk. The best drivers in the world crash, okay? Well, see, I got an obstruction. Truck. I got to make sure he's staying on his side. He's not. Barely. Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, they go off the track, they crash. Right? The best drivers in the world. Because that's what's going to happen when you push a car to the limit going around corners. It's just the way it is. Sometimes to find the limit, you gotta push it to the point where you might crash. You might come off. I personally only go all out on go-karts. I love go-karts. And I think I'm a pretty damn good driver. I mean, if you watch all my videos, I don't know, I hope the footage speaks for itself, I can handle myself. When I go to go-karts and I push it all out, if I do like 3 races, I usually still will hit the wall at least once or twice. I'm usually the fastest person there. I'm not the fastest driver ever. It's just most people who go are just casuals. But I just know from doing go-karts, when I push all out, I'm gonna hit the wall at some point, at least. I usually never like full on crash, but I'll hit the wall. You come around the corner, all it takes is a couple inches, doop, you just do a little doop, right? In the real world, in my opinion, you are beyond smooth brain. I don't care how good you are as a driver. If you have a car that handles well like this car does, and you're like going on twisty roads like we just did, and you're going 100% all out, I think you're out of your mind. And I think if you do that enough, you're eventually going to crash. You're going to total your shit. Or at least like very badly damage it. So it's nice having a car like this that handles so well that I can do a road like that and not really have to worry. I can go 60-70%. And it's still fun because the car handles so well. It's well within the limit of what this car can do. Right? That's fun. That's genuinely fun. I just enjoyed myself back there. Very fun. But the thing is I don't feel comfortable going 100%. And again, I think if you do, I think you're smooth brain and you're overestimating your skill. Like this turn would be so fun going all out. Whoa, that was sharp. That would be so fun. But you might go off. Okay? So when it comes to picking a car based off of the handling, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have great handling. It can help you in certain situations. It can be fun if you have twisty roads, but you can't push the car 100%. You're never going to be able to get 100% out of it. And this is just a VBWRX, you know, like a Porsche, for example. Like, you can't even come close really to the limits of what that car can do on the street. You got to bring it to the track. And bringing cars to the track, man, that's like, you got to have like a whole extra car. You know, if you bring it to the track and you crash it, guess what your insurance will say if they find out you crash your car at the track? You know? Now, when it comes to straight line, hopefully I can get around this truck because this is cooked. I don't know if I can. This was the perfect road before we came up on the truck. You know what? We'll hang back. We'll let him go. We'll let him go. We're chilling. Damn, this is a good road. Now, here's the thing with this road. Even near me, like, I live in a relatively rural place. Like, it's pretty rural. Like, it's not like deep out west, you know, super middle of nowhere, but this is like pretty rural. And even out here, I still got to drive 15-20 minutes to get to a nice road like this. So I got to like go out of my way to get to a road where like usually there's no traffic. Right now, even out here, sometimes you hit traffic. It's very rare, but we hit this truck. And so to enjoy the handling, you kind of like got to go out of your way, you know? But when it comes to straight line performance, when I'm in second gear, I was going to go into third, and I was like, probably not smart to just accelerate into the truck. When it comes to straight line performance, you can actually push the car to 100%. Right? Like, you can do, just chill in the lower gears. You can go wide open throttle in the lower gears. And you can have fun. You can get 100% of the car. Get 100% out of the car's straight line performance pretty easily and safely because it's only going to last a few seconds. You don't need to be on a twisty road. In fact, you should not be. You know? I'll just turn around. That's what I'll do. You can get that 100% out of the car. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it's nice to have a car that handles nice, but you're never going to be able to get 100% out of it on the street. And if you are, you're really playing games. That doesn't mean you can't have fun. Like I said, I just had fun back there. Oh, the Amish. It doesn't mean that a good handling car, you can't have fun with it. You can. You absolutely can. And maybe you prefer that. Straight line is just not your thing. It's just like, from my experience, I'm just going to turn around in this driveway. Oh, the guy's outside. He's probably so mad at me. Sorry, bro. It was quick. I made it quick. That was weird. Traction control seemed like it kicked in, but it's off. Oh, they have the horse and buggy sign. But right, straight line, you can get your 100% relatively safely. Now, obviously, you gotta be careful. You know, like, you could spin out, especially in like a rear-wheel drive car. In this car, like, you don't really have to worry at all. It doesn't break traction at all. Now, you know, look, I still like my twisties. With 70% at most, bro. See, like, that was pushing it there. Got a little tire squeal. I can't do anything more than that. Too risky. But straight line, you can go all out. Now, I've been driving this car a year now, and I really like it. I like the balance between the straight line and the handling. But the thing is, like, you'll notice there's a lot of people, you know, for example, online who have these WRXs, and it's like, what's one of the first things they want to do with the car? Like, oh, bro, get a tune. Like, why? Because this car is very well balanced between handling and straight line performance. But the straight line just doesn't scratch the itch. It just doesn't. It's just not enough power. If I'm being honest, it's just slightly less power than like you would like, especially because it's all-wheel drive, so there's a little more drive chain loss, so you're not even getting the full amount of power. So I don't know, me personally, like if it was like a sliding kind of like scale between like straight line and handling, I would always prefer give me more straight line, because straight line performance is more accessible. Now, of course, you risk getting a ticket more, unlocking the straight line performance of the car, right? Like, if you're speeding, that's like the number one thing that's going to get you a ticket, generally speaking. Going on these little side roads, do a little handling, like, you're probably not going to get pulled over for that, especially if it's a more rural road like this. But doing some pulls, it's fun. Like, it's fun to push a car 100%. It's not as fun, I think, knowing that, okay, this thing has a little more left in the tank. You know, when it comes to the handling, I'm like, I want to find the limits of the car. And finding the limits of the handling is just a horrible idea. But with straight line, you can. It's just so much more fun. Like with this car, it's been very easy to find the straight line limits. That was not a great shift, but it's all right. But yeah, this car, it definitely leaves you. This car, if there was a slider, I would say it's probably a little tuned to the right, the handling. The car handles really well. Like, it really does. And that almost makes it like a little, I don't want to say boring. It's not boring. It's just like, oh, okay, well, like going around this turn, there's no, there's no fuss. No fuss from the car. It's wet, so obviously don't be smooth brain. Here we are back at this beautiful road. And look, I try not to like hype myself up. I know I'm a good driver. I can handle it myself, especially around turns. Bro, if I come out here and I boogie around these turns enough, going like 80%, 90%, I will crash this car. I know I will. It's just, it would be a matter of time. Like, you cannot push. Something's gonna go wrong, man. You're not as good as you think you are. Even if you're good, even if you know you're good, you're gonna crash at some point. You're just gonna crash. It's just normal. It's normal. Crashing when going around turns is normal. Like I said, the best drivers crash. Straight line performance, if you crash, you're smooth brained, right? It's so much easier not to crash. Like, I've had high horsepower rear wheel drive car. It's so easy not to crash, dude. Like, just make sure there's nothing around. You know, you do your pull. And, dude, if you start spinning, just let off the gas. Counter steer if needed. Like, I've never had an issue. And also, if you have good tires on the car, unless you're making like 600-700 horsepower, it's probably not gonna spin anyway. So this is why, me personally, I won't lie. Like, I know people like Miatas and those little things, those little cars. When I look at those cars, I'm just like, I know I'm not gonna be satisfied. Like, it just doesn't have enough power. It just doesn't have enough power at all. And this is coming from someone who can get a car around turns fast. Like, I think I would enjoy something like a Miata, maybe for like, you know, a couple months. And then I'm gonna be like, it's kind of like slow in the straight line. And then I'm just not gonna like it anymore. And I'll want something different. And this is what happened when I bought a V6 Camaro. I bought a 5th gen V6 Camaro when they came out. It honestly was basically just as fast as this car, this WRX. Power to weight ratio, quarter mile. Basically the same speed, stock for stock. Be very, very close race. And I just started getting bored of that car. And that car those cars do not handle as good as this, but it still handled like decent. And with that car, I was just like, nah, man, this is getting boring. Like, I tried to make it faster. It was hard to make it faster. Once I got the V8, eventually I traded in for a V8. I was like, nah, this is fun. dude, I'm sorry. I don't care how good your car handles. If it's only got like 200 horsepower, you know, when I hop in something like 400 wheel torque, 400 horsepower, 500 horsepower, dude, the experience is just something else. Like this car, you get on it, right? Not much of a straightaway here. Let's see. So like you floor it, it pulls you into the seat, but nothing crazy. Like you can basically ignore it. Like it's nothing crazy. When you have a car with like 400 torque and up, like when you floor it, like you are actually like pulled into the seat. This car, you could floor and just be like looking around. But a V8, like a big V8, bigger engine with some torque, it's like you floor it, if you'd be like, oh shit. Like you can't like really look away. You're just like, it's so much power, and you know this, it's hard to, you can't even explain. You have to feel it almost. Anybody who's had a car that fast will know. It's like you get on it, there is no la 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 la. You're just like, oh, okay. It forces you to pay attention because you know you are booking it right now. Like you are moving. It's like being on a ride. So that's my opinion. I think the straight line, me personally, I always want a decent handling car. Like that's why I'm not a huge fan of like those SUVs with like, you know, tons of horsepower. I'm good on that. But that's my opinion. Little Miatas and stuff, low horsepower cars. Oh, but the car handles well. But yeah, but how are you gonna even enjoy that? Not to mention, like when you're doing twisties and stuff and you're going around, you're putting so much extra strain on the tires and the brakes and the suspension. That's how you wear your stuff out. When you just floor it, you're not putting as much wear on the car at all. But hey, let me know in the comments what you guys think, all right? And that's all I got for now on this one. So I'll see you guys in the next one.